Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend, the Dreamfinder, here to set off on another grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom.
The Disneyland Limited, now leaving for a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom. All passengers board.
Star Tours announces the boarding of the Endor Express. All passengers, please prepare for immediate boarding.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas. To those guests who've just joined us, welcome. For those of you standing, please hold on to the handrails throughout our journey and stay clear of the door.
Please keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the train and remain seated at all times. Now then, hang on to them hats and glasses, because this here's the wildest ride in the wilderness.
I am Sam, the American Eagle, and I am proud to introduce the Grand Circle Tour podcast, a celebration of Disney parks, but mostly the American ones. I really like these guys.
All aboard Grand Circle Tour passengers, and welcome to another episode of the Grand Circle Tour podcast. My name is Dan Hansen, and I will be your conductor today as we take you on a Grand Circle Tour around all things Disney. It's a small show today. It's just me and my absolute number one favorite co-host of all time, Jason. Jason, how are you today?
Aloha, Dan. I am perfect right now.
Perfect. And what, Jason, why would that be? Why are you perfect right now?
Because in 12 hours, I'll be on a plane to Walt Disney World.
12 hours. You know that, I mean, you obviously know that feeling because you're having it right now, but for the listeners out there, you know that feeling 12 hours before your flight leaves. I mean, it just, sometimes that feeling's better than any feeling you have on the trip.
It's like being a kid on Christmas Eve. Although I will tell you, Dum Dum here got a 7:40 a.m. flight to Orlando without realizing that it's an hour and a half drive to the airport.
Ooh.
And you have to be there 2 hours before your flight. So I'll be getting up in 8 hours at 3 o'clock in the morning to make the drive in the dark.
And passengers, just so you know, so you don't doubt Jay's commitment and our commitment to you all, here he is recording a show 12 hours before his flight leaves. I mean, what do you think? You can get 4 hours of sleep tonight?
I will probably get no sleep. I'm one of those people when I travel the next day, I have a really hard time getting to sleep.
I know. I feel the same way. I hate that feeling, too, because I'm always so exhausted the next day.
Yeah, because I don't want to I don't want to miss anything. I just want to make it go as smoothly as possible so my brain just won't shut up, even if I lay there.
Well, you're doing it the right way by not going to a park on your first day. Usually I force myself to do a park. But I think your approach of just hanging out, and what are you going to hit the Polynesian? That's the plan tomorrow?
Yeah, George is already there. I get in at 11, Mindy gets in at 4, and my mom gets in at 6. So we're all just going to go back to the room, refresh, hang out for a little bit. I think about 8:30, 9 o'clock, we're going to go to the Poly and just hang out at Trader Sam's.
Hey, you need to promise me something right now. You have to FaceTime me while you're in Trader Sam's. Just so I can feel like I'm with the group.
I will FaceTime you tomorrow night.
Awesome. I am looking forward to it. Maybe we could somehow get that on Facebook or something. I don't know. We'll try to figure that out.
And this episode goes out Wednesday, October 2nd. So if you see us in the Magic Kingdom, come say Walt's Up. We'd love to meet you. Definitely.
Also, if you're at New York City Comic Con this week and you see me walking around, come say Walt's Up, because that's where I will be. So anyway, Jason, Walt's Up. You have a Walt's Up today?
Other than going to Walt Disney World, I do have a fantastic Walt's Up. My copy of the Enchanted Tiki Room vinyl LP showed up yesterday.
Woohoo! We all know how Jay loves his vinyls.
Love my vinyl records, and this is a perfect reproduction of the 68 record and the book. And it's side A is the Enchanted Tiki Room, and side B is made just for me. It is the Jungle Cruise.
How awesome is that? That's like the ultimate vinyl for you.
I had to have this one. I couldn't let this one go. Tiki's in Jungle Room. It's all Jungle Skipper Jay.
Yeah, amazing. Sounds amazing. Well, I have a quick waltz up. It's a kind of a second half waltz up. If you listened to the show last week, I talked about I am going to New York City Comic Con, and they had a secret panel announced, Disney Parks panel, which is very unusual for a New York City Comic Con. Never have they had a Disney Parks panel, and it's pretty weird in my opinion that we just had D23 a month ago, and now they're doing another panel on the Disney Parks at another big convention. But anyway, last week there was no word at all as to what it was going to be. This week we got a little bit of an update, but it's still pretty secretive out there. We just got the name of the panel. It's called Disney Parks Bringing Avengers Campus, parentheses, and more in capital letters with an exclamation point and parentheses, to life. So bringing Marvel Avengers Campus and more to life. There's absolutely no description on it, and that is not like any other panels on the main stage. All other panels have huge descriptions. It doesn't say who's going to be there. I am very much looking forward to this, as my two worlds are colliding. My comic geekdom and my Disney geekdom are colliding into one. So I'm going to try to maybe live stream it or do something for the Facebook group. Hopefully there'll be some announcements. That'd be pretty cool.
I'm really curious about the and more.
I know.
That's
me too.
Such a tease.
It is a tease. And like I said,
you and I are both big comic geeks. One of these days we've got to do a comic episode.
I know. We've been saying that for since we started the show. Since Jay and I met a little over a year ago, we've been saying that we want to get together and just do a comic show.
No, we're 2 years into this now.
Is it 2 years? Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
you're right. It is 2 years.
Doing this now. Yeah.
Holy cow! It's been about. You're right. We started about 2 years ago. I mean, we didn't go on air, but we started the prep about 2 years ago.
Yeah, this is episode 82.
That is crazy. Well, passengers, thanks for sticking with us. We are still having an awesome time, so we will keep doing this until we can't do it no more.
Until we're too old to do it.
Until we're too old. And even then, we're probably still going to do it.
We'll be like Madame Leota. We'll be heads in jars, still talking about Disney.
I picture us as Waldorf and Stadler, Jay, me and you.
I totally see that.
Up in the balcony.
You and I have like the same sense of humor, so I can see that happening.
Let's hope that never happens to us. All right, so I was thinking, since I was hosting, I wanted to do some sort of game. That's what I like to do here. So back in May, we did a What's the Chances show, and I thought it went pretty well. So I have a whole bunch of new questions. It's just Jay and I on the show today. So, Jay, I'll give you a chance to give your answers first, but then I'll also answer it. How about that way we could maybe have some debates on some of these questions.
Ooh, debate. Sounds good.
I'll throw out a topic, and Jason will give me what he thinks the chances of it coming true are from 0% all the way to 100%. Sound good?
I had a great time doing this last time, so let's do it.
Awesome. All right, question number one. We're going to stick with some of the current events out there right now in the Disney world community. Let's talk about the Skyliner. And the first question is, what's the chances the Skyliner will be extended?
I would give it a good 95%.
Have you seen the videos?
Oh, I've been watching the videos. I can't wait to ride the Skyliner.
It's going to be your first attraction you ride when you get there.
Yep. It might be the first attraction I ride every time now.
You could actually ride it tomorrow. You know that, right?
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, Jay, you know what? You said you've been watching the videos. I'm oddly obsessed with watching these videos. I don't know what it is about the Skyliner, but I've watched more Skyliner videos than I think. I've watched more Disney videos this week than I have in a long time, and it's all because of the Skyliner. And that's weird. Even when, Star Wars Land opened, I didn't watch that.
It's the return of the Skyway. The Skyway is back, but when you ride, it's a transportation like the monorail is. Yeah,
and I was so happy to see that it wasn't as a heat box as Mindy had claimed it would be.
I knew it wasn't. I knew Disney was not going to put us in little ovens.
Yeah,
they're not going to put us at risk by getting us into 115-degree metal cabins.
I think it was you, Jay, when you said something that really made me think about it and said, yeah, that's right. You said something about when you're on the People Mover. it's not a million degrees running a people mover, and it's going to be going about the same pace as the people mover. So you're right. You're going to get that airflow, and from all the videos I've seen, it does look like there's a lot of airflow there. I mean, I don't know if you saw the Tim Tracker video, but Jen's hair was like all over the place. Like her hair was blowing in the wind. So it was pretty cool.
I've watched Panda's videos. I've watched our very own Stan's videos.
Yep. Stan had a great video. One of the first on the scene, to try it, and he loved it. And I think it's a cool thing.
Let me ask you really quick, because my favorite thing so far from these videos is the view from the skylighter.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool, right? I mean, you know what? To be honest with you, there's some views that are really spectacular. And then there's that other view. The view going to, I guess, the Pop Century is so, it looks like very low to the ground. I was, very surprised about that, Holy cow. But very cool. And to get back to the question of will it be extended, I have to agree with you. I mean, I think that the only reason I'm not going to give it 100%, I'll go with 90%, is just because of costs and,
cost and time, yeah.
Exactly, cost and time. But
I see it happening, just not anytime soon.
Yeah, right. And I mean, the thing is that if it really, we have to give it a little bit of time here. I heard that it stalled out yesterday for a couple hours.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not going to freak out about that. That's going to be expected. Like with anything, when it first starts, there's going to be some issues.
So I had a friend tell me real quick, under the seat, there's a black box. And inside that, there's a notepad for writing. There are there's water for you to drink.
Really?
Yeah, and there's also I guess the best way I could describe it is portable porta potties.
Wow.
Stuck up there.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Let's all hope we never have to open the black box.
I was listening to on Twitter, Braden. He does Mickey Views. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that YouTube channel, but he was on there when it stalled, and on his gondola, the announcements were not working, but he could hear the announcements in the background from other gondolas, and I was like, there's already some issues where you can't.
It's like any new ride. Any new ride is gonna. We know how new rides are. They break down consistently every day for the first few months once they're up and running.
But yeah, so far so good. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to go on it, and I'm excited, quite frankly, to use it as transportation, which it's intended to do. So,
and I haven't heard anything bad. Everybody, I mean, it's early days, and it's been cast members and previews, but everything I've heard, everyone loves it.
Everyone that's been on it has loved it. The only people that I've heard bash it are the people that have not been on it.
Yeah.
And they're the same people that say, I'm not gonna sit in something that's when it's 102 degrees out. But yet they're the same people that are going to be spending that same 20 minutes online for a bus in 102 degree temperature. So
you know what? It's better than sitting on the pavement for an hour and a half or 2 hours waiting for a parade.
Totally agree. All right, so that was a little bit easy one. Let's move on. Let's move on to Star Wars. And let's say, what are the chances that 3 years from now, we look back at the whole Star Wars land and consider it a failure?
Man, why'd you have to ask me a controversial question? Because I'm going to give that a solid, once again, 95%.
Ooh, that's rough.
Because, and a lot of it has to, with Disneyland, and I want to break it into two pieces here, because with Disneyland, what I hear from my friends back home and even from family, what has killed Disneyland for them now are the price hikes because of Star Wars.
Right. That
they're so turned off by the price hikes now and the price of it that they're just like, we don't want to go anymore.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question, because that's an interesting thing to think about. Yes, I agree. They spent a lot of money on Star Wars. But don't you think the price hikes would have happened just with another thing, just something else that would have came about?
It was 2 price hikes this year.
Yeah.
And I think that was it was from being completely honest here. People have told me they feel betrayed by Disney, by the price hikes, because now it's there are people who it's too expensive to go now. Annual passes are too expensive. Tickets are too expensive. I don't stay on property anymore because I save a ton of money that way.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I totally hear you, and
but they rushed the land. From what I'm hearing from friends, On the inside is that, yes, Rise of the Resistance is supposed to open in December on the East Coast and January on the West Coast, but they are having to rip out sections of the ride down to the steel and rebuild it. So there's a good chance by rushing Star Wars, by not having the big ride open, by cutting back, because we were supposed to have droids and aliens walking through and like battles happening on the rooftop and all this stuff on the third ride, and it all got cut.
Yep. And
it's gonna hurt them in the long run. I mean, it already has that reputation that Euro Disney has of wasn't that a failure?
Yeah. You almost stole my next question, so I'm going to jump in before you keep going, Jay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Next question is going to be, what's the chances that Rise of the Resistance will save it?
Oh, Rise of the Resistance is going to be spectacular. But as we were just talking about, new rides break down when they first open.
Yeah.
Rise of the Resistance is 4 different ride systems in one attraction. So what happens when these 4 different rides break down at different times throughout the day?
You know what, Jay?
Plan for that?
You hit the nail on the head. I am so nervous. I would love to say 100% Rise of the Resistance is going to save it. And I'm very confident that Rise of the Resistance is going to be one of, if not my favorite attraction in Walt Disney World. However, I am very nervous about everything working the way it's supposed to work. And like you said, it's 4 different systems that have to all work. One goes down. I'm assuming they're all going to go down unless there's a way to skip a section or something like that. And with the bad press that we have already gotten, if this doesn't hit, they're in a lot of trouble.
With the East Coast version of Galaxy's Edge, I'm going to Disney tomorrow. I've been looking at My Disney Experience every day, the app, and Galaxy's Edge is busy in the morning, and by noon, everyone just kind of leaves.
Yep.
People aren't sticking around.
Yeah.
I want it to succeed. I mean, Rise of the Resistance sounds like the experience I've wanted since I first saw. I was 4 when The Empire Strikes Back came out.
Right.
So this is like something I've wanted my entire life. So I don't want it to fail.
Of course.
I just, you should have stuck to the original plan because it was originally the original trilogy, and all that other stuff. The pencil pushers ruined everything with Disney.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's funny that you say everyone's gone by like lunchtime, because I spoke to a friend of mine that I work with who's probably the biggest Star Wars fan I know, and I don't know if I should say this on the air, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm just not going to say his name. His son's middle name is Skywalker. His son's actual middle name on his birth certificate is Skywalker. So you can see how much
there's nothing wrong with that. Anakin is a name young boys are being named now.
Exactly. But anyway, so
he said the same thing. I would rather be named Anakin than Blue or Apple or Sky.
Yeah, exactly, right? So he said, you walk in, he was blown away by the Millennium Falcon. He said the ride was okay, but his biggest complaint was that, he did the lightsaber. He's never going to do that again, right? I mean, it's a one-and-done thing. He did the droid. He's never going to do that again. It's a one-and-done thing. Now what?
Yeah.
And he's just like, there's nothing to do. I'm just sitting there like, okay, I'd love to stay longer here.
So many times.
Right.
And they were supposed to have a full-on restaurant with animatronics and aliens and
I know.
an entire experience. And they really turned the lightsaber on in their own flip time.
Yep. Well,
Han didn't shoot first. Disney shot first, and they shot their foot.
I hope Rise of Resistance saves it. Again, I really can't talk. I have not been there, so it is very unfair for me to say anything bad about it. I'm just going by what I've been hearing, but I really, really hope that this attraction, makes it a real reason to go there. And I think that's what they need. They need a real reason for people to go, something that's going to blow people's minds.
And that's what it sounds like it's going to do. I mean, it sounds like the ultimate theme park experience.
Yep.
But this whole land, they should have just kind of pumped it off. Maybe the next summer.
Yeah. Well, when I hear you say things about how they're stripping it down and like redoing things in a way that makes me happy. Of course, I want it to open, and I'm,
No.
but in a way, I'm like, good. I'm glad they're trying to get it right, and hopefully they don't rush it, and hopefully they don't open it until it's perfect.
It's just kind of a bummer because at this point, the old saying, you only get one chance to make a first impression.
Yep.
And there is this one first impression for Galaxy's Edge.
Very true.
And I mean, Disneyland Paris is the most visited spot in all of Europe. It is huge. People there love it, but it still has that little bit of everyone. You think Euro Disney wasn't that a failure? That's what people say.
Yep.
And we're 27 years later.
Yep. It's true. All right, we're gonna get back to that a little bit later. But let's take a little bit of a break and ask another question. So at D23, they announced a new Mary Poppins ride that'll be in England in the World Showcase. We know that the Ratatouille ride is being built in France. We know Frozen was built in Epcot. We know the Three Caballeros are in Mexico. What are the chances that we get up to about 50%? So that's another 3 or 4 attractions in all the countries in the World Showcase within the next, say, 5 to 10 years.
Say 25. I'd say it's going to take a few more years on that. I'd say within 10 years.
Okay.
There'll be an attraction for, maybe not like a ride, but there'll be something for a property, a Disney property, or a Fox property in Epcot.
Okay. So, talking about the World Showcase, where do you think the next attraction is going to go?
Well, next year Ratatouille opens.
Yeah, besides the ones that are announced.
That's really a tough one. I really think about this one.
What about like something Mulan?
I would love a Mulan attraction.
Right? And I'm thinking, with the movie, if it's a hit.
Yeah. And have you noticed with the Mary Poppins concept artwork, it's the new Mary Poppins, not Julie Andrews.
Really? I thought it was going to be a little bit of both, but if it's only the new, I think that's a mistake if they only did the new one.
I would love it if they mixed the two. But I noticed that the design for Mary Poppins, what she has on the carpet bag, that is Emily Blunt, and the artwork has Lin-Manuel Miranda's character singing on a lamppost.
Right.
So it's just something I picked up that they're only showing the new one so far in the 2 pieces of art that we've seen.
Well, what's your feelings on them? Making these changes to World Showcase?
At this point, I just go ahead and do it. Make it Magic Kingdom 2.0. I miss old Epcot. I'm one of those nerds that likes edutainment, and I'm stoked that they're keeping the spirit of old Epcot. But you know what? Just go ahead and do it. I guess there's no point in not doing it now.
You know what? I kind of agree. I think 10 years ago, if you would have asked me, I would have been pretty against it.
Yeah.
But, now I'm in a different place in life. I have a 7-year-old. I have a 1-year-old. And they want something to do at Epcot. Yeah. I love the World Showcase, right? It's one of my favorite things to do in the world, right? If you could tell me, Dan, you could be any place in the world right now, that's where I would be, World Showcase. But with my 7-year-old, he doesn't want to go there. Like he's right. Okay, he goes there, but it's not something he
nothing grabs his attention.
Exactly. And we were at the point a couple of years ago when he was about, I guess we took him when he was 2, 3, 4. Where we do the KitKat stuff, and all it is coloring. That's all they do in KitKat.
You can do that at home.
He could do it at home, but then I would sit there and I'd be like, okay, I'm sitting in say the England Pavilion, in this little room in the back, coloring. I'm like, is this why I'm spending all this money just to sit here and color?
Time is money, and you know what changed it for me though, is Frozen Ever After. That is now my top 3 attractions forever.
Really?
Yes, I think it's great. I'm sorry, Maelstrom. Maelstrom was awesome, but Frozen is such a fun ride.
Ah, Jay, you're killing me. I'm a proud Norwegian.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's like a knife through the heart with these things.
I know.
But I get it. I've always said this. I get it. I'm not going to be one to sit here and bash the Frozen attraction and say, oh my goodness, Maelstrom was so much better. Because the fact of the matter is, Maelstrom wasn't the greatest attraction. to me,
it was a cool attraction.
It was cool,
it was
right?
so different
Yeah,
than anything else.
Exactly. And you know, I grew up in going to my grandparents' house that was filled with troll statues, and like that's just the way it is. That is really how Norway is, you know.
But you and I are both those people that like to learn, and so for us, not only is it a ride, it puts you somewhere else where you can. That's what I love about old Epcot.
Yep.
I'm a nerd. I love to learn things. I would still be in school if I could.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I think as long as they keep a little piece of that, you know, I think I'm okay with it. So, all right, let's move on to the next one. This one was really written for some of our other co-hosts that couldn't be on the show today. But Jay, have you been on Disney Cruise at all?
I have not.
Okay, either have I. So we won't know how to answer this question, but I'm going to say it anyway. What's the chances that Lighthouse Point, the new island that Disney bought, is going to be even better than the current island they have at Castaway Cay?
99%.
99%.
It's newer. They're going to put more money into it. Honestly, I'm going to say 50-50 because I honestly cannot give you an informed answer on this one.
I know.
50-50.
Tough one for us to answer. Passengers,
can I phone a friend?
Yeah, right. You cruisers out there, tell us what you think. I'd be interested to hear. Comment on the show notes or on our Facebook page, and let us know what you think about Lighthouse Points. There hasn't been a lot of information. I Googled it today. I tried to do a little bit of research. There's not too much out there on it. So, but I'm sure, just like you said, Jay, they are going to make it very nice.
I can't wait to see what the new ships are going to be compared to the older ships.
Oh, yeah.
So, new island, old island, new ships, old ships. We'll see.
It's still going to be awesome, right? All right. So, Zootopia is being added to Shanghai Disney. That was announced at D23. What's the chances that after it opens, me and you, Jay, are begging for them to build it at Animal Kingdom?
100%. And what I've heard so far is if you like Dino Land, go visit it now.
Ooh, really? What's the word on the street you hear?
I've heard that is one of the 2 plots of land they're looking at because they're going to clone Zootopia from Shanghai and just bring it right over to Animal Kingdom.
Oh, man. What's the other plot of land? Do you know?
At the top, I know it, and it's like right there in the tip of my tongue.
Yeah. I think Dino Land is where it should be, to be honest with you.
You know what? I love Michael Eisner. I don't care what people say about him. He saved the Walt Disney. There would be no Walt Disney Company. There would be no Disney without Michael Eisner. But that was one of his big mistakes because of going back to earlier, the failure of Euro Disney. They cheaped out. I mean, they had a choice: Beastly Kingdom or Dino Land, and they went with Dino Land because of the dinosaur movie that no one remembers.
Yep, so true. And passengers, if you don't know anything about Beastly Kingdom, go do some research on it. What could have been is pretty amazing. It's funny because I think that the whole idea of Avatar, of course, it's a big IP, so that's why they went with it. But I think there was a part of that always wanting that like fantasy / mystery type of animals, I guess you can call it.
It would have been nice to have a unique non-IP land.
Yeah. But that's not where we're headed, Jay. All right, so let's get back into some. Have you heard of the shakeups this week in Disney?
Oh yeah.
So we had let's see. So we had Catherine Powell, who she oversaw. I guess they called it Disney Parks West. I think they called it.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically Disneyland, Disney World, and Euro Disney. She was in charge of all of those parks. She stepped down, and the word on the street is it's because of.
She was a sacrificial lamb for Galaxy's Edge?
Yep, that's exactly what the word is. However, I have a quote here from Bob Chapek who says, Galaxy's Edge has exceeded every expectation. What do you think? Yeah, right? Thank you, Bob. But anyway, that position is going to be eliminated in the Disney hierarchy. They've hired another woman by the name of Rebecca Campbell. She's going to take over Disneyland, and Josh Giamaro, who is currently in charge of Disneyland, he's going to shift over to Disney World. D'Amaro also ran Animal Kingdom. He was in charge of Animal Kingdom before he went over to Disneyland. And I thought he did a really good job with Animal Kingdom. And quite frankly, I think he's done a great job at Disneyland over the last couple of years. Price is not included, but I don't blame him for that. What do you think he's going to do at Disney World? What's the chances that he brings more of a Disneyland vibe to Disney World?
I'm going to say 99.9 because what I see with him is he's going to go over there and he's going to see where light bulbs are burned out, and he's going to notice the details that need to be fixed, the ones that drive us all crazy. He goes over there and goes, fix it, make this look like Disneyland, make this look as good as Disneyland.
I agree. I mean, this is something that I don't think many people have kind of, maybe you read it, but you don't really think too much about it. I think a move like this is going to be so important for Disney World.
Yeah.
And exactly what you're saying, Jay, is exactly what I hope happens here. Here's the other part about it. The fact that they eliminated a whole level, and that these Rebecca and Josh are both going to report right to Chapek. That's good. That's good for us. That's good for consumers.
What that tells me is it is a bigger, I'm not going to say it's a failure, but it is a bigger disappointment to the company than they're letting on.
Yeah, I agree. I think so too. I think it was a great move by Chapek that he's willing to make those moves swiftly. Hey, it's the world of business. It's tough out there sometimes, but you got to do what's right.
I hate to say it this way, but Disney World needs someone to crack the whip and go, why is this spot rusted out? Why is this unpainted? Why isn't this fixed? Why isn't this up to standards?
Yeah, I gained a lot of respect for Bob Chapek with this move. Did you hear, by the way, that Oprah yesterday said that she wants Bob Iger to run for president? I know we don't talk about politics on the show, but it's pretty funny.
That's what I'm looking most forward to on my vacation. There is no talk. There's 2 topics that are forbidden on vacation: work and politics. I don't care what happens in Washington next week. I'll find out on Sunday when I get home.
All right, ready for a speed round?
Let's do it.
All right, we're going to talk about movies. I'm going to read out some movies, and I want you to tell me what's the chances that after you see this movie, you're going to give it a thumbs up. Cool?
Let's do it.
Speed round. Ready?
Okay.
Go. Frozen 2.
Thumbs up.
No, percentage that you're going to give it a thumbs up.
Sorry. I would give this one a solid 88%.
88%. That Frozen 2 is going to be thumbs up. Star Wars Episode 9, Rise of the Skywalker. That's a tough one. You can't even do a speed round on this one.
I'm going to give it 50-50. 50-50. I really want to like the next Star Wars. I really do. I love the new characters, but the new movies aren't doing it for me.
All right, we're going to stop. We're going to stop the clock on the speed round because we got to talk about this. Jay, sometimes our minds are very similar here. I am nervous. Oh my goodness. I want this to be so good, but I am so nervous. I can't give it any more or less than 50%. I really can't. It's a crapshoot,
And you know what? The new movies, Solo and Rogue One are my now number 2 and 3 favorite Star Wars movies of all time.
Yeah.
But Force Awakens, I like it less every time I watch it. And Last Jedi, I just don't care to watch it.
Oh, man.
Force Awakens was just... I had the same problem with Force Awakens that I did the new Ghostbusters and the new Jurassic Park. I've already seen this movie. You just remade it in HD.
I know. I don't know what else to say about it other than I like
all the new characters. All the new stuff is great.
Yeah,
I just don't like the movies.
Me too. And I'm going to go in. I'm going to go opening day, and I'm going to sit there with my fingers crossed, and almost like my hands buried in, my head buried in my hands, just saying, "Oh, please, please, please."
Well, here's my big fear with this movie. And possibly, I'm sorry for using this word. I'm afraid it's just going to be fan wank service. Try to make everyone happy. They're just going to, I don't know, roll out the greatest hits. Yep.
I have a feeling that's going to happen too.
I don't really care to see what happened to the Death Star 2 after it crashed.
Right.
Matt Smith is in it. And right now Matt Smith was the 11th Doctor Who. And that's the thing that's kind of, I'm going, well, he's playing Palpatine, so at least I know I'll enjoy that. I love Matt
I'm
Smith.
like, who the heck is Matt Smith? I'm like, who is this guy?
I'm such a Doctor Who nerd, dude. I could
Doctor Who.
probably do like a Who podcast by myself.
Yeah, I'm sure he could. Jason gave me a list of exclusives to get Doctor Who exclusives to hunt down at Comic-Con, which I'm happy to do for you, Jay. Let's actually go back, because I thought the speed round would be a good idea, but then I'm like, hold up, I want to talk about this too. So let's go back. Frozen 2. You know, I gotta be honest with you. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just if it just feels that it's not being promoted enough. Do you get that feeling?
Doesn't. I wonder if it's because maybe it's Frozen Burnout or Frozen Backlash. I'm a 40-year-old man with no kids, and I thought Frozen was a great movie.
Yeah.
And what I like, the little bit I've seen so far with the new one, it looks like what a good sequel should do. Take the original and build on it. Like, you know, The Empire Strikes Back is Star Wars, but different.
Yep.
It looks like it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
Like,
I hope.
Grow these characters and make it. I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm really going to enjoy this one.
Is Anna going to have powers? Is that what's going to happen?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
I think that's where they're headed.
My favorite little meme I've seen, it was it's Elsa and her parents, and you just see a shot of a wheelchair. It goes, "Hi, I'm Charles Xavier."
That'd be the ultimate crossover there.
Hey, they own both. They could do it.
All right, next movie, the new Maleficent movie.
I'm going to give it a 92%, but I'm not going to like it.
That you're not going to like it. So 8% that you're going to give it a thumbs up?
I could care less. The first one just didn't do it for me.
Stan and I did a show before the summer. Actually, it was probably earlier this year, where we just went down the list of movies going to be released this year. And, I admitted to Stan that I've never seen the original Maleficent. I got to be honest. It's a 0% for me, because I'm probably never going to see this movie either.
Honestly, I know we have it on the schedule to review it, and I'm wondering, like, can we just skip this one? I don't want to see it.
Oh, man, I know.
I really like some of their remakes, but I don't know. Maleficent's one of those characters you don't touch. She's not on the board to play with.
However, I'm a big Descendants fan. I don't know if you ever watched the Descendants movies.
I've seen bits and pieces of the first one, flipping channels.
Yeah, very, very underrated. I mean, as an adult, they're,
It looks like fun. It looks like something I would watch, babysitting my niece and nephew. And have a good time with them watching it.
Yeah, that's the thing. My niece and nephew are obsessed with it, and they got my son pretty obsessed with it, and now my son watches it every day. So that's how I've watched them. So
we'll talk about Descendants off air.
If there was only a hidden video in my living room of see me dancing around singing the Descendants songs, it would be worth gold.
There's something about Descendants that doesn't make sense to me, but we can't talk about it on air. We'll talk about it when we're done.
Okay. All right. What about Mulan?
Oh, 100%. I think I'm going to like this one.
Oh, that looks like such a badass movie. I'm so excited to see that movie.
I like that this one, Beauty and the Beast is a great compliment to the original.
Yeah.
And builds upon it. This one looks like it's taking a sharp turn left.
Yeah.
And they're really going with the original poem story.
Yeah. Hey, I got a bold prediction. I'm going to say the Mulan live action is going to be better than the original Mulan.
I didn't want to say it, so you said it.
If I didn't know anything about Mulan, like as a cartoon, and to be honest with you, when the cartoon came out, I saw it. I didn't see it in the theaters. I had no desire to see it in the theaters. I just saw it because I'm a Disney fan. That's probably the only reason I saw it. I liked it. I'm not going to say I didn't like it. If I didn't know anything about that and I just saw the coming attractions for the Mulan live action, I'd want to go see that movie.
Mulan is one of my favorite Disney films. It's just it's so entertaining. I just love it.
Yeah. What about 101 Dalmatians?
Oh, you mean the Emma Stone as Cruella?
Yes, sir.
Oh, 101% I'm in on this one. This movie has everything I want. It's the 70s. It's punk rock.
Punk rock, yeah.
Everything I love is in this movie. Disney made it just for me.
It is very Jason-esque, but don't you think some people are not going to like it because of that?
Hey, as long as I like it. You know what? Not everything's for everybody, but I can already know Emma Stone is a punk rock Cruella in the 70s. I am 101% in on this one.
Yeah, I am too. And finally,
and real quick about
sure.
Emma Stone in that picture, if you go look at that one promo still they shot that they showed, I was like, wow, dude, she is really channeling some young Debbie Harry.
Oh yeah, oh yes, definitely. All right, final movie. I saved this for last for you, Jay. Jungle Cruise. What's the chances you're going to give this a thumbs up after you see it?
You know what? I think it's going to be 90%. I'm going into this one thinking it's just going to be a fun movie. I hope they learn their mistakes from the Haunted Mansion and the Country Bears movie.
Yeah, I know.
It's The Rock. Anything The Rock does is fun.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I was talking to my wife this morning, and as I was going through some of the show notes, I was, just kind of like reading them off to her, seeing what she thinks about it. And she's not as big a Disney fan as we are. And I said Jungle Cruise, and it was the first time she ever heard that they were making a movie of the Jungle Cruise. And she says to me, why would they ever make a movie off of an attraction? And I'm like, have you not seen the Pirates movies? And she's like, oh, yeah, that's right. And then her reaction was, hey, with those two actors, I don't see how it can't do well.
I think it's just going to be just a fun 2-hour romp.
Yeah, yeah. So, Jay, what's the chances that The Rock gets his own animatronic on the Jungle Cruise?
God, please don't change the ride for the movie.
It's going to happen, Jay.
Please, if you're going to do it, please don't overdo it. 3 Jack Sparrows is too many.
No more Trader Sam, you think?
If they're going to bring him in, for me, the best way to do it, the WDI radio loop, Albert AWOL.
Yes.
Bring him in there. You don't need to shove The Rock in our face on the ride. Do something a little more subtle.
Well, here's what I was thinking. There's space. I mean, I don't know if there's space. I just think that there's space where they could probably clear out and put another show scene or two.
Oh, yeah. In both.
Exactly.
But if you've watched videos of the Tokyo Jungle Cruise, it's the superior one.
Really? I've actually never seen that.
I'm not going to spoil for you guys. Go watch it. It has a great finale. The thing about the Jungle Cruise is it's all about the skipper and it's your adventure. By placing the Rock in the middle of it, it's no longer, I don't know, it kind of removes some of that. It takes the classic shine off of it.
I was walking down one of the hallways of my office the other day, and I happened to look at a girl who I know, but I'm not, not very close with her, but she had a water bottle on her desk, and on the inside of the water bottle, just so you could see it through the water, it says the backside of water. And immediately I was like,
I like her already.
Yeah. I was like, I went over, I'm like, are you a Disney fan? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, I give her like the little wink, like, yeah, we know.
Here's the only thing I'm really looking forward to most about the Jungle Cruise movie. We'll finally get some freaking Jungle Cruise merchandise in the parks.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you definitely, that's 100% that's going to happen, which that's a good thing. The only problem is it's all going to have The Rock's face on it. So
I would love some classic attraction stuff that I can take home and put here in my office.
Hey, you know what I was thinking? You know how Johnny Depp sometimes shows up at Pirates?
Yeah.
How cool would it be if The Rock showed up as a skipper one day?
Okay, that would be awesome.
I know.
That if you jumped in and he turned around and was like, I'm your skipper, like, all right, let's do this.
Oh my goodness.
That would be that. I don't know. That might be a disaster. It's a good thing it's on a track because everyone taking selfies might cause the boat to tip.
But what a great promo.
Funny.
Like have like put a plant on the boat and have them videotape it the whole thing and leak it out.
As soon as it hits Twitter, that ride will have a 5-hour wait.
I know. All right, last question, Jay. What's the chances that the new Epcot show, Harmonious, that's with a capital US at the end, will be better than Illuminations?
Don't hate me for this, but I'm going to say 96.2%.
96.2. That's the exact right answer, Jay.
Just a little bit I've seen of Epcot Forever. Illumination is a great show. We've all just gotten used to it over the decades.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think they're going to go all out on this one, and it's gonna be worth the wait.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, listen, I like Illuminations. We had a overrated show a couple weeks ago, and at the end I said, I know I'm going to get hate mail, but I think Illuminations is a little overrated. And that's not to say it's a bad show. It's just that I would never pick Illuminations as the show I want to go see at night.
No,
if I had one choice.
It's not like Phantasmic, where Phantasmic is an event.
Sure. Yeah, or Happily Ever After, or The Way
Right.
Wishes Were, like... I just think that, did you see some of the effects for the Epcot Forever with the kite effects? You see
I'm
that?
afraid 1 year is too short for Epcot Forever.
I know. I think Epcot Forever can end up being the show that everyone wants back.
Yeah. I hate to admit this, but I watched a little preview clip, and as soon as the choir started singing Tomorrow's Child, I'm like, oh, look at that, I got goosebumps.
Well, think about it. That show is catering to us,
Right.
Me, you, whoever's listening to this podcast. You're only listening to this podcast because you're a Disney fan, right? And you love these old things. And we're the people that, kind of push for,
It's kind of like a love letter to the fans almost.
Exactly.
Like, we're sorry that this period of Epcot is over, but we're going to celebrate it before we move on.
Yep, I totally agree. And, I hope, the only thing I hope is that people don't get too attached to Epcot Forever, that they automatically hate Harmonious. I can see people being a little bitter that way, too.
I could totally see, I don't know. They would never do it, but it would be great if they could do both and maybe have Epcot Forever on the weekends or on really busy days run both. It's never going to happen, but I want to go. I want to enjoy it, and I want the soundtrack to Epcot Forever in my iTunes right now.
Yeah. Yep. It's a must for me.
I think I told you the only Epcot music I legally own is my vinyl record from '82.
Yeah, I mean, is there much out there?
Not a lot. There's the Millennium Celebration stuff and a few things here and there, but there really is no Epcot music. And this is something this is kind of a tangent here, but this is what I'm really hoping for. Walt Disney Records, if you're listening, next year is the 50th for Walt Disney World. Give us like a 10-disc box set of Disney World music and those versions of the rides.
Yep.
I have my 50th box set from Disneyland, the 6-disc soundtrack from the 50th of Disneyland. Give me a 10-disc for the 50th of Walt Disney World. In fact, make it 12. Go twice as much.
Yeah, right. People will buy it.
I would.
I know. All right, that's all the questions I have, Jay. You have anything else to add to today's show?
Dan, as always, this was fun. I do, really quick, I want to thank Ken, voice of the show. He is editing the show for me this week so I can go on vacation and have a good time. Ken, thank you.
You are the man, Ken. Not only do you do some of our voiceovers, but you help edit the show now. I mean, we got to start giving this guy a paycheck.
Well, actually, Ken is going to be the producer on Stan's show, the solo show.
That is true. So not only...
We are all looking forward to Stan's show.
Yep.
And make sure, real quick, everyone, make sure you subscribe to George on YouTube at Disney Family Man 23.
And start listening to the solo show once that starts out with Stan.
Yeah.
Our family is growing. We are expanding. We're all doing our different things, but
I was teasing Stan the other day. We were talking, and he said, I get to be the first spinoff. And I said, well, we're the Mary, you're the Rhoda.
I cannot wait to, if those don't know, Stan's going to have a different co-host every week on his show. So yes, that means you, the listeners, can help co-host the show. So if you're interested, hit up Stan. But I cannot wait to co-host one of Stan's shows with him.
It's going to be a blast because I don't have to do any work on that show. I could
we're just the guests. Oh man, you are 100% right. I don't know what Stan's thinking, setting up his own show, all the work that's going into it.
It's a lot of work, but
it's a lot of work, passengers.
I've talked about this before. It's like this is a part-time job we pay to do.
Yes. We are not making any money, ladies and gentlemen. We actually spend a lot of money on this.
Yeah, but we're having a great time.
Great time. And getting together on Sunday nights, Jay, talking about the things we love, that's what it's all about. And passengers, I hope that you appreciate the hard work and effort that we put into it. We do it all for you. And with that said, it looks like the train's coming around the station. So we are just about time to wrap up this show. Jay, I hope you have a great, great time.
I will. I will be back Saturday night. So I think I'm on next Sunday. I will tell you guys. I will be a motor mouth. I won't shut up about my trip. But if you're listening to it the week this drops, Mindy, George, and I will be at the Magic Kingdom on Wednesday, and we will be at Hollywood Studios Friday. So if you see us, come say hi. We'd love to meet you.
Yes, take a picture, put it up on our Facebook page. I am very jealous that I will not be with you guys. But I know you'll have a good time. With that said, we will see you on the next show. And Ken, take it away.
If you would like to keep the adventure going after the show, be sure to like our Facebook friends page, Grand Circle Tour Magical Ticket Holders. While on Facebook, like our group page, Grand Circle Tour. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Grand Circle Tour Podcast, as well as Instagram, GCT Podcast, and our YouTube channel, Grand Circle Tour. If you would like to send us a message, you can email us at gctpodcast@gmail.com. T-shirts and other fun merchandise can be found at tpublic.com. Simply search Grand Circle Tour Podcast. If you enjoyed your adventure, leave us a review on Apple Podcast. Only one rule, make it good. Thank you for riding with us, and welcome home.